What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the electric guitar tutorial for Love the Lord by Lincoln Brewster, the live version. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so I'm playing through the patch I created for the Helix, HX Stomp, HX Effects, and the Pod Go. So if you're interested in that, feel free to click the link down below to pick that up. So this song is in the key of G. So the main theme that you really want to think about this song is that major 7, that G major 7 note, because it comes up literally everywhere. This note right here. So how you play your G chord is you play it like a G5 chord. So you're not adding your first finger there. You're kind of cleaning it up a little bit for the electric. So your A string is being muted by your middle finger. Then you're adding your ring finger and your pinky on that 3rd fret. So what you're doing is you're using your first finger to play the 2nd fret on the high E string. And you're raising your pinky there. And you're really bouncing back and forth between those two notes. Really use those notes playing off each other to dictate how you're picking. So my first chord is my G chord. And then my second chord is my E minor 7 chord. So before I break down the other chords, I'm going to talk about anchor points. And so the whole idea about that, there's 1 or 2 fingers that anchor you to the fretboard, that give you context and give you confidence of changing chords without having to really have to look at your guitar. And that theme is really prominent here in this song. And in this song, my anchor point is my ring finger and a lot of the times my pinky as well. These top 2 frets in the key of G. Those are kind of my anchor points. So you watch as I transition between chords. These 2 fingers do not move. So I can literally hit every single chord in the song without really having to move very much. And that's really handy when you start having to think about my first chord is my G chord, and then my second chord I'm going to cover is the E minor 7. Keep your 2 fingers there. Add your first finger to the 2nd fret A string and 2nd finger to the 2nd fret D string, and then play all your strings. So then that's a tough one right there. You're adding your middle finger to where your first finger was on that high E string, that 2nd fret. Same idea. Then you're to your 4 chord, which is your C2 chord. So that's literally just like your G chord, but you're adding your middle finger to the 3rd fret. Or the 3rd fret A string instead of the 3rd fret low E string. So I'm going to play it in context. So you're back to your first chord. Then you're going to play your D chord. So that's a D sus right there. That's a traditional D chord. So your sus keeps your anchor point there and it sounds good still. So then your first finger is on the 2nd fret G string. Let me play it again. See where I hit that D chord there? Then your last chord is your C2. that is like the main theme. If you can nail that, you can pretty much nail the whole song. So there's a second guitar part in the live version that sounds like this. So that's basically, I'm using my middle finger because at the end there's like a little hammer on. So middle finger, 8th fret B string, slide up to the 8th fret, 15th fret. And then hammer on from the 7th to the 8th fret. So then at the end of the verse, you're doing. So I'm going to go over the chord progression. So now you're going from your C chord to your D chord. So you're resolving it to your normal D chord. So you're playing a smaller version, a higher version of your E minor, just the top end. So it's. Break all that down. So this is a normal C2 chord. Resolve your D chord. Then you're going to add, instead of playing, although you could if you want to, add your first finger to the D string 2nd fret. Just play those top strings. Next chord is a D over F sharp, just an inversion of your D chord. To get technical, you're taking your middle finger note, you're adding it to your low E string to give it a different feel. So how I'm doing that is I'm playing my ring finger, did not move. Still on the 3rd fret B string, middle finger 2nd fret G string, and then first finger is added to that low E string 2nd fret. And then you're going to want to make sure you upstroke on that high E string. Then you're back to your intro chords. So I'm going to play it in context. So then you're kind of back to that intro / verse chord progression, but there are some changes in there. So I'm going to play those. And then you actually hit the 5 there, which is your D chord. So you're going to hit another chord that we haven't touched on before. That's your 3, which is a same inversion. It's an inversion of your G chord. But you're playing that hard. You're playing that 2nd fret A string, still keeping your anchor points there. Okay. Oops. So you can actually hammer onto that, to your C chord. So I'm going to play that all in context again. So going from your C to your D to your G, and then you're going D to C. Then you're back to your intro. So then he plays a cool lick, sounds like this. Something like that. So I'm going to play that. So this is gonna be in your pentatonic scale. So if you don't really know what that is and you don't really know like the notes to play, let's say in the key of G, feel free to sign up for my private lessons, linked down below, and you can sign up for a time and I'll walk with you through this. So this particular lick, slide up from the 12th fret A string with your ring finger to 14th fret A string. And then you're gonna bar your 12th fret D string, G string, B string. And you're gonna hammer on with your ring finger G string to the 14th fret. Hammer on, pull off. Then you're gonna hammer on your D string, 14th fret. So that part's a little tricky. Then you're gonna upstroke on your G string, 12th fret, all barred by the way. You're gonna repeat that. That's all on the D string with the upstroke on the G string. And then you're gonna hybrid pick. So I'm basically using my ring finger and middle finger on the G string and B string. So you can do two things. You can either create a sus or you can create a full inversion there, depending on how you're feeling. You can either do that or you can do, that's just adding your ring finger, choosing to add your ring finger or not to the 14th fret. So I'm going to go ahead and play that in context. So the verse 2 is pretty much the same, but there's one lick that's really cool, and it kind of sounds like this. So the best way that I could play that, and it sounds really bright like it's on the highest strings, it's just to kind of abandon the chords altogether and play this lick. So like, I play with my middle finger on the 3rd fret B string and my my ring finger on the high E string 3rd fret. And I'm playing that same kind of voicing. First finger, 2nd fret, and then you're hammering. You're gonna bar. Play it two ways. You can use your pinky or your ring finger, but you're going to basically hammer on the high E string to the 5th fret. And you're going to bar your 3rd fret B string and E string. So after the chorus, you go right into that guitar solo. And that guitar solo sounds like this. So how I'm playing that is I'm playing my ring finger barring. So there's like a hammer on that there. Barring the 12th fret, D string, G string, and B string. And I'm using my first finger on the 10th fret B string and middle finger on the 11th fret G string. A lot of it is in the technique of your strumming. A lot of it's upstrokes too. So then after you play that first chord, then you're back to that position here. Then you slide that down 2 frets. to 8th fret B string, 9th fret G string. And those chords are upstrokes. Slide up. Hesitate. And then it's a downstroke, down up. Then there's a lick here, goes like this. Something like that. So that's a bar there. So it's kind of like the same. It's like that same lick that we played at the end of the interlude. It's a little different. So you're still starting in the same spot, barring the 12th fret. Hammering on the 14th fret G string. And then hammering on. And then you're going to hit that G string twice. And then you're going to hammer on the A string to the 14th fret. D string 12th fret, twice. Slide from the 14th fret, A string down the 12th. You're gonna pull off to the 10th fret, A string. Bar your A string and your low E string on the 12th fret. So you're going to cap it off with the 10th fret A string. Then you're back into it. Add some vibrato to it. So I'm going to play that whole section for you. So then you're into that bridge / chorus 2, and now that's not actually in the studio version. It's in the live version, though, and so we're going to go over that part. In the live version, you go, just hit your G chord and let it ring out. And then you go to your C chord. So Lincoln Brewster's actually doing some cool stuff there, too. So he does a harmonic. So that's just, you can use whatever finger you want, but you're not pressing, you're just resting your fingers on the strings. So you're just resting your finger right on that metal part of the fret there. You're barely touching it. So that's just your D string, G string, and B string. But there's a cool picking pattern. So to play it slow, it's upstrokes, downstrokes. Plays it straight like that the first time, but then the second time he goes. So how I'm playing that is my 13th fret B string, middle finger, then playing the 15th fret B string with my ring finger. he does a cool, like a flutter. So I'm going to play that again. So that's starting on your B string. Again, this is in the pentatonic scale. You're going to start with your first finger on the B string, 12th fret. It's a hammer on. To your 15th fret B string. First finger on the 12th fret, high E string. And those are both hammer-ons. And then you're going to do back to the 12th fret and then play on the 14th fret E string. And you're kind of going to hesitate there for a second. Down to the 12th fret, high E string, 15th fret B string. 12th fret B string. Middle finger, 14th fret G string. Back to the B string, 15th fret. Back down to the 12th fret B string. Hang on, I gotta play it fast again. Yeah. And then it's a bend with your ring finger on the G string. 14th fret. Those are picked. To the 12th fret. G string. 14th fret. 14th fret D string, 12th fret D string, and then you're gonna play ring finger 14th fret A string, slide down to the 12th fret, slide down to the 12th fret, and then he does a cool hammer-on pull-off thing. So your first finger's on the 10th fret, A string, and then you're hammering onto the 12th. And then you're going to end that lick on the 12th fret, low E string, and slide down. Then you're going to go to your E minor chord. So I'm going to play that in context. So then we're back into the chorus after the bridge chorus 2 part. Drop there, and then you're into the chorus. So then at the end of the song, there's like just big band hits there. Just a big trash can ending. There's a cool lick though that Lincoln does that I want to play, and it's the same part that we found in that bridge chorus 2 section. He brings that back, so it's kind of the same. And he goes back to the G. It's that same lick, but he starts going back up. So it's a slide from the 10th fret A string. It's a hammer-on actually, to the 12th fret. Slide to the 14th A string. Then you're gonna bar the D string and G string on the 12th fret. And you're gonna, it's basically, now you're just continuing the octave of that. That's on the G string now. Slide from the 14th to the 16th. Then you're going to bar that again, but it's the same notes, it's just an octave up. So you're going to bar the 15th fret, B string and B string and E string. And then you're going to play the 17th fret, high E string, and then you're going to slide up. And that's the end of that lick. And then it comes back down, plays a G chord. So I'm going to play that in context one more time. One thing I didn't cover was you can actually, I actually kind of milked this part a little bit. That's actually really what Lincoln Brewster does a lot. He does that. So basically, if you don't feel like going down yet, for example, like you can kind of hang out there. So it's just a fast little flutter. So the only thing that's a hammer on and a pull off is that D string on the 14 to the 12. Everything else, try to pick that. So that's a G string bending up slightly. Depending on how you're feeling, you can bend way up. Or you can bend slightly. So it's just a minor third. 14, bending up to the 12th fret G string. It's just really fast. So practice it slow, and then the speed will come. So that's kind of what I did there. So at the end, I did. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, feel free to hit the thumbs up button located down below. And if you have a Line 6 Helix, HX Stomp, HX Effects, or Pod Go, feel free to click the link down below in the description to pick up the patch. Also, if you're wanting to go deeper in the knowledge of electric guitar, guitar technique, guitar music theory, I have slots available for private one-on-one lessons via Zoom. Click the link down below to book. Sweet, we'll see you guys in the next video.